Hey everyone, it's Dr. Lusheen, and this is my sort of final parting comments and review for Safety 783, Environmental Safety Management. So, just a few things to start out. I had the different modules and the overall course learning objectives, but what this was really about is to introduce to you and have you go through sort of a chronological assessment of what I feel are some of the more seminal or foundational literature, or I should say research papers and chapters. And in a way, then we have a better perspective or approach to compare, contrast, and possibly be critical of some of the things we're doing today. And I think that objective was achieved through multiple ways, through your weekly reflections, through your discussion board participation. I think you guys did a great job. Second is I wanted you to basically have some of your thoughts, feelings, perspectives on your practice challenged in the discussion board. And I think a lot of you experienced that as well. I felt that was always like the strongest part of some of my courses in grad school. Again, the seminars are the ones where we really discussed and challenged things, and I think we had some fun with that. So I consider that objective achieved. Sort of the third would be getting to know a bunch of you during office hours and discussing things outside of class, things that for professional development, career development, things like that. I think at last count, I think I had 6 or 7 of you attend on a semi-regular basis, and I thought that was great, getting to know the handful of you who did that. For others, I realize the timing of it isn't always great, but so that's kind of a mixed result. But anyway, I enjoyed myself, just so you know. Here's an overall breakdown of course performance. Of course, I track these types of things. I'm very data driven. Everything's really good. We had one person drop the class early on, but everybody else really hung in there. And that makes things easier for me. Just so you know, though, I could have graded a little bit stricter. Some of your summaries didn't seem anything more than a summary of the title and abstract, but I tried to give you all the benefit of the doubt. What I'm going to do is be a little bit more stringent when it comes to the final paper, as far as, are you demonstrating to me that you are challenging something, or is it more just like a fluff piece? So that's going to be kind of the difference in how I grade the final paper. But those of you who I've seen and have demonstrated that you're really challenging yourselves, you'll have it a little bit easier on the grading. Those that I've been watching and saying, I'm kind of questioning whether they actually read some of the papers, I'll be grading those more strictly. That's a good way to put it. A lot of you, don't panic. You're fine. I'm really proud of this. So the total assigned readings, 47 papers. That's awesome. The extracurricular readings, there were 56. I mean, that's over 100 papers and chapters and websites. That's really awesome. Additionally, there were 12 non-lecture, non-review videos, but then each week I had a review video. And then we had one bonus video on safety and AI. I would have liked to have learned what you thought of that, but again, you guys, I wanted to make sure I gave you all plenty of time to work on your paper, which is why nothing was assigned in week 7. Here's the stats for the discussion board. I mean, look at these averages after week 1. Everybody averaged over 7 posts a week. I think that's awesome. There was a spike in week 6. And based on what I had read, I think it was because I made it more personal to me. I talked about the things that my family and I are doing to be more eco-friendly, or more sustainable. And a lot of you, I think that may have struck a chord with a lot of you. There was a lot of great comments, discussions on that. So that was exciting. If anybody wants to reach out to me, it doesn't have to be on Canvas, but if you want to just let me know what you thought about the artificial intelligence lecture video, that'd be great. I appreciate that. My parting words. This course was completely rebuilt for this semester. I'll be using this for the next 2 or 3 years. Some of you gave me some great comments a couple weeks ago, and I did make note of those, and I will be sharing some of that with the graduate coordinator of the program, because it kind of went for my class, but for others too. In the last 3 weeks, I spoke at 2 different state conferences, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I met some of you at them, and I was really excited. I did the same presentations at both. The OSHA Explorer was one. The other was criticizing incidence rates as a valid or reliable measure of safety program performance. And I got great feedback from audience members and speaking to people in between. And I think at the Wisconsin it was a little bit smaller. I think in my room I had, close to 100, maybe a little over 100. In Minnesota, it was more in the 200. So that was really exciting. I do have a bunch of upcoming presentations. Here I left a link, or you can just search it. Jill James and I are doing the OSHA Explorer webinar. We're going to be there on chat to kind of talk through. We already recorded it. That's May 15th. On the 29th, I'll be down in Orlando, team speaking, partner speaking with Dr. Matt Law at the ABC Safety Champions Conference. That's interesting. It's based on a podcast that he and I did together, and so we'll be presenting. On the 13th, I'll be doing a virtual presentation for Safety on the Edge. It's the virtual portion of their conferences, and I just recorded my summary. The title of that one is "We Deserve a Better Injury and Illness Record Keeping Standard," and so that'll be fun. It's kind of building off of the things we had covered in this class, and then I'll be there all week for Safety 2025, which is ASSP's annual conference, and that's going to be in Orlando this year. I did not have my proposal accepted for National Safety Council, but that's okay. I'm pretty tired. I do enjoy presenting, but the travel always kind of gets to me. And then the summer, I got to get caught up on my manuscripts. I had hoped to have 2 submitted by May 1st. Neither is even near the shape it needs to be in to be submitted. So I've got to get going with that. I also need to record some lecture videos for my summer applications course. It's an undergrad course, and it's a condensed 6-week, and so I got to really get going on that. Material hasn't changed much. I just need to update my videos and make the content a little bit more applied. It already is applied, but I'm going to try to up it one. So that's really what I've got going on. That, or I'm going to try to build a shed this summer so I can kind of clean up and organize my garage. So my parting word is keep educating yourself. That's what grad school is all about, is to give you the skills, the knowledge, the abilities to continue learning. And if you haven't already, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always sharing jobs and promoting certain concepts. Well, not concepts, events, opportunities. So if you haven't already, please reach out to me. I'll connect with you, and then we can keep in touch. Otherwise, thank you all. This was a great little course. It went really fast. But I hope that you can take what you learned in this class, apply it to your careers, and I do hope you keep learning. So I want to thank you all. Hope to see you either on LinkedIn or at a future conference. See ya.